Hello class 7. I welcome you all once again to your English class. I hope you all are doing fine. Children, for today's English lesson, we are going to continue with the fourth chapter, The Cop and the Anthem by O. Henry from your Alien Handbook. Okay children, so in our previous video lessons, we had already finished the explanation of the text and you are aware that we have also finished the meanings of the chapter that were not many. So I think 4 of them, right? We had finished them. Now in this video lesson, we are going ahead with writing the question answers from your textbook. That is there on page number 29, the exercises. So we have some question answers, true and false to do, and let's get started with it then. Okay children? So the first question, what are some of the signs of approaching winter referred to in the text? Okay, let's write this answer. Children, I'm not writing the question. You will have to write the question. Answer the following questions. Number 1. Some signs of approaching winter referred to in the text are birds flying to warm south, then we have people wanting warm coats and dead leaves covering the ground Yes children, this is the first answer. So the first question was, what are some signs of approaching winter referred to in the text? So we have some signs of approaching winter referred to in the text are birds flying to warm south, people wanting warm coats. Children, you can write here woolen clothes as well, and dead leaves covering the ground. Okay, so here it is, number 2 now. Move to 2. So we have some true and false right in question number 2. So the first question is, Soapy did not want to go to prison. You know, after we have read the story, you know by now that he desperately wanted to go to the Blackwell's Island, which was the prison, right children? So this will be false. 2 number 1 will be false. Please write the question as well in your copy, in your notebook. Do not skip writing questions because ma'am has not written. We are also not going to write. It's not going to work that way. Okay. Well, now number 2. Soapy had been to prison several times. Yes, to get rid or to protect himself from this cold. He had from last 2 or 3 years. He has always been going there. So yes, this is true children. Number 3 now. Okay, it could be better if I would have written like that, right? So let me write that way if we can find a duster. Number 2, true. Now moving to number 3. It was not possible for Soapy to survive in the city through the winter. Yes, children, because he had no home, he was jobless. So this statement is also true. Number 4. Soapy hated to answer questions of a personal nature. Yes, that's why he did not wanted to go and find shelter in known houses, because people will be asking him some personal questions. So children, this statement is also true. Okay. Now moving to number 3. Let's see the question. What was Soapy's first plan? Why did it not work? Okay, you know the first plan. We will be just scripting it down. We will just be writing the answer now. He planned to go to a fancy and expensive restaurant and order for himself a proper meal, proper supper you can write, a proper dinner. Let's write meal, proper meal, and then would say he had no money. He had no money to pay. Yes. Then we have they would, children, this is they would immediately arrest him Okay, they would immediately first call a cop, right? Immediately call a cop and he would arrest him. Children, whenever there are two parts of a question, please listen carefully. Whenever there are two parts of a question, you are always going to change the paragraph, okay? Remember this, you are always going to write it in the next paragraph. So this one, why did it not work? Let's write it, why it did not work. But as soon as he put his, let's write it down, he stepped inside the restaurant Okay children, I hope you have finished the first question, or take a screenshot quickly so that I can just erase it. Okay, I'm just erasing this one, this portion, so that I can continue the third answer here. But as soon as he stepped inside the restaurant, the head waiter blocked his entry. Thus, his first plan did not work. His first plan did not work. Okay, so now see children, he planned to go to a fancy restaurant, an expensive to fancy an expensive restaurant and order for himself a proper meal and then would say he had no money to pay, they would immediately call a cop and he would arrest him. But as soon as he stepped inside the restaurant, the head waiter blocked his entry. Blocked means he stopped him. Thus, his first plan did not work. So this is the third answer. Now let's see the fourth question. But the cop's mind could not consider Soapy. What did the cop not consider and why? So this was the continuation of the previous one. Now we are moving ahead with the fourth one. The policeman did not believe that Soapy had broken the window glass. The reason was that, because there is a question of asking why. The reason was, we have to, why he did not believe him. The reason was that no such criminal would stop and talk to a policeman. Okay, so this was quite a short answer, right? The policeman did not believe that Soapy had broken the window glass. The reason was that no such criminal would stop and talk to a policeman. Okay, children, moving ahead with fifth question. We have orders to let them shout. What is the policeman referring to? Let's write this answer as well, number 5th. The policeman means to say that he had got orders not to arrest the unruly and shouting college students. Unruly are people, children, who do not listen to anybody, who are always breaking laws. Arrest the unruly and shouting college students. Weird thing, no? Weird order. Not to arrest shouting college students. Although they are really young, they cannot be arrested, right? So this is the 5th answer, children. Okay, the policeman means to say that he had got orders not to arrest the unruly and shouting college students. Okay, children. Now moving to the 6th one, again we have true and false. So this is regarding another incident that took place when the umbrella was stolen by Soapy. So I hope you have finished this. If not, please take a screenshot quickly. Six, 1. Soapy stole a man's umbrella. Yes, it's true, he stole it. So this is true. Number 2 now. The owner of the umbrella offered to give it to Soapy. Yes, this is also true because he himself stole it. So he does not want it to be caught by a cop. That's why he was trying to return. The man had stolen the umbrella. That was now Soapy's. True. That was a stolen umbrella from the beginning. Soapy threw away the umbrella. Yes, he threw away. So see, we have 4 truths. Okay. Now moving to question number 7. There was a sudden and wonderful change in his soul. What brought about the change on Soapy? Okay, let's write this down. The sight of the home where Soapy had spent his childhood suddenly changed his outlook. The old memories of his mother and the sweet music revived his love for a decent life. He decided to work and become, he decided to work and become somebody in life. Yes, this you already know what was his decision. So the sight of the home where Soapy had spent his childhood suddenly changed his outlook. The old memories of his mother and the sweet music revived his love for a decent life. He decided to work and become somebody in life. Okay, children, we are done with the question answers here. Now we have something in the later part of this exercise. Discuss the following topics in group. Suppose no cop came at the end, what would Soapy's life be like through the winter? Yes, you know he wanted a life for himself, right? Let's write the answer of this one. I hope you're done with this. This is question number 1 of that discussed thing. So yes, let me raise this as well. So number 1 to discuss question. In case no cop have had arrested Soapy, he would have made a life of himself. He would have worked, he would have found himself a new job, actually a job, and lead a life of a normal gentleman. Although he would be cold in the winter. He would be cold in the winter. Yes, children? So in case no cop had arrested Soapy, he would have made a life of himself. A life of himself, okay? Life for himself. Life for himself. He would have found himself a job and led a life, because we are talking about this past thing which did not happen, and led a life of a normal gentleman, although he would be cold in the winter. Yes, children, now moving to number 2, the same part. Retell an episode in the story which is a good example of irony in a situation. I told you, children, what is an irony. So we have seen here Soapy. Something happened with Soapy which was a great case of irony. Now let's write that down. Soapy was keen to be arrested and sent to the prison for 3 cold months. He made several attempts to get arrested, but none of his plans worked. Finally, when he decided to have a decent life, honestly, he was arrested. Yes, now such an episode is ironical. Okay, children, this is it. Number 1 and 2. Now we are done with the exercises that's in your book, the question answers that's there in your book. Children, we will be writing some extra questions. That's not in your book, but yes, the answers to them are in your book. So let's get started. I hope you have taken a screenshot. Now, question number 1. These are extra questions, children. You have to write these questions as well. These questions are really important in the text because questions might arise from here. Why did Soapy move restlessly or relentlessly on his seat? Okay. Why did Soapy move restlessly on his seat? Okay, children. Number 1. Soapy was a homeless and jobless man. Cold winter was approaching. Fast. He was lying on his seat in Madison Square. He had to find some way to face the cold. Therefore, he moved restlessly on the seat. Yes, children, this is the first extra question. Why did Soapy move restlessly on his seat? Soapy was a homeless and jobless man. Cold winter was approaching fast. He was lying on his seat in Madison Square. He had to find some way to face the cold. Therefore, he moved restlessly on the seat. Yes, children? So, moving to the second question now. Number 2. What was Soapy's hope for the winter? What were Soapy's hope for the winter? Soapy did not have high hopes for the winter. He had no thought of sailing away on a ship ship. He was not thinking of southern skies or of Bay of Naples. He hoped to spend 3 months in the prison on the Blackwell's Island. Okay, children. So, what was Soapy's hope for the winter? Soapy did not have high hope for the winter. He had no thought of sailing away on a ship. He was not thinking of southern skies or of Bay of Naples. He hoped to spend 3 months in the prison on the Blackwell's. Yes, island will be capital I. Island. Okay. So, children, we are done with this. I want to discuss one more question. We don't need to write this. Why did Soapy like to go to the prison? Soapy was a man of ego. He thought that a gentleman's own life was still his own life in the prison. He considered the prison to be a better place than the houses of his known people. Okay, children? So, we are done for this day. I hope you understood the chapter. You finished this quickly, because we will be discussing this in your online classes when we begin with the chapter in your online class. Okay, children. So for this day, we are done. Thank you for watching the video. We will meet again with another video lesson soon. Bye-bye, children.